Good evening, dear Kuwait television viewers, and welcome to another new episode of your weekly program, Kuwait in 30 Minutes. The English News and Political Programs Department has prepared a variety of reports that highlight the main events that have recently taken place across Kuwait. Our committed team of reporters is constantly engaged in numerous events with the objective of keeping you, dear viewers, aware of the latest information, regulations and policies. Our aim is to help you obtain information on the latest developments at the local scene. So stay tuned for more coming your way this evening. In our first item tonight, in a humanitarian gesture, the Patients Helping Fund, in cooperation with the Kuwait Center for Cancer Control, decided to deliver medicines to the homes of non-Kuwaiti cancer patients due to the comprehensive curfew. The fund has also been providing expensive drugs to patients who can't afford their cost. Our reporter Halil Fahad has more in this report.
Home may be where you live, regardless of where you have been born, and reassurance may come in the most unaccepted times. The Patient Helping Fund has established a mechanism in cooperation with the Kuwait Cancer Center to deliver medicines to patients in their homes.
This is our duty to helping patient who cannot come to the center, KCC center in Sabah area. We would like, and finally, we would like to thank Minister of Health to the good cooperate with us to distribute this medicine to them.
A small bag that carried happiness and hopes with it, and received gratitude in return.
I just want to thank you for this medicine that I receive now. This is from Helping Fund. I would just, for all my heart, I would just say thank you very much.
We toured with the Patients Helping Fund from one house to another to deliver cancer drugs to the residents. As the Patients Helping Fund Society has been working hard for decades to deliver a message of hopes and smiles.
Kuwait Fire Service Directorate, or KFSD, has prepared quantities of plastic face masks as part of its efforts to combat the spread of the new coronavirus COVID-19 outbreak. The KFSD has scheduled the distribution of the masks to frontline workers. Our reporter Hadil Fahd once more has more in this report.
The Kuwait Fire Service Directorate manufactures masks with medical and health specifications in the context of keeping pace with the procedures to prevent the new coronavirus COVID-19 outbreak, and in order to facilitate the access of the necessary protective supplies for the frontlines workers' protection.
Now we just cover for the fire department, the fire stations, the firefighters. After that, once we reach what we need in the fire department, then we will do what we can do to do as much we do for the other departments, like the Ministry of the Health, Interior, and the rest.
First, here in the engineering room, we are doing all the material stuff for the face shield. So first we start cutting the shield with the shape that we need it to use it there. And then we cut the sticker for the Kuwait Fire Service Directory. And also as well we are doing using the 3D printer for the clips, the snap clips.
This Kuwait Fire Service Directorate step comes as part of a series taken once, such as the use of sterilization mechanisms, as well as the allocation of a number of its employees in distributing medicines to patients, as its latest contributions to the manufacture of plastic masks.
in an initiative to contain the coronavirus and to ensure as many people from across all governorates get tested for COVID-19. The Ministry of Health has launched a drive-through COVID-19 testing center at Al Jazeera Airways Park and Fly facility. A total of 180 tests are conducted at random on a daily basis via the new service for individuals from all 6 governorates based on population distribution. Furthermore, the Ministry of Health is cooperating with the Public Authority for Civil Information to carry out the test nationwide, where individuals receive SMSs with all the data required, including date, time and location. Reporter Ghanwa Jabbouri has more in this report.
The Ministry of Health recently inaugurated a drive-through novel coronavirus testing centre at Jazeera Airways Park and Fly facility at Kuwait International Airport, with the objective of helping to increase the number of tests carried out by the ministry to establish information on unreported infection cases.
And we're here today to, as part of the Ministry of Health initiative to screen people in Kuwait for the possibility of infection with the COVID-19 virus. This is Al Jazeera Park and Fly location. We have another one in Jaber Al Ahmed Stadium, and all the visitors go through multiple stages for entering this screening station, including checking if they were invited either through the Ministry of Health contact of positive cases program, or random selection in cooperation with the PASI.
Since its inauguration, the centre has been carrying out over 180 tests daily for more than 180 people. Furthermore, the Ministry of Health, in collaboration with the Public Authority for the Civil Information, have worked together to randomly nominate individuals representing the different state areas, both males and females and different age categories, for the tests.
I think the main challenge at first was to be able to screen the large number of people coming through these screening stations. But alhamdulillah, we managed to screen a large number so far. We receive in Al Jazeera almost 100 cars per day. We started in Ramadan and we're continuing now.
The drive-through COVID-19 testing centre, according to a representative at the Ministry of Health, has been able to screen larger numbers of people than anticipated due to the centre's enhanced medical facilities and capabilities.
Al Jazeera Park and Fly COVID-19 testing. This is Ghanwa Jabbouri reporting to you for Kuwait in 30 minutes.
Undersecretary of the Ministry of Social Affairs Abdelaziz Shuaib announced that the ministry has handed over 12 million masks to the Union of Cooperative Societies. Shuaib pointed to the ministry's efforts to implement the cabinet's decision, which requests the ministry to provide cooperative societies with facial masks. Our reporter Hadil Fahad has more details in this report.
More than 12 million face masks were delivered from the Ministry of Affairs to the Union of Cooperatives for distribution to cooperatives not to exceed the price of one muzzle 100 fils. The president of the Federation of Associations, Khalid Al-Dhayban, said that the price of 4 KD 500 fils has been set for the consumer to be sold in all cooperative societies distributed equally among Kuwait associations. After field tours involving the cooperatives, We explored opinions on how to put the muzzle cans, especially as it is a national product that needs support, and about opinions about prices. They said that the prices are suitable and comfort to health standards.
Due to safety. Yep. So we have to move everywhere. That's why we have to wear it.
Deputy Minister of Affairs Abdulaziz Shaib revealed that the wishes of the muzzles are in favor of the National Cooperative Projects Committee Fund.
In light of the current situation the local scene is witnessing regarding COVID-19 and considering Eid al-Fitr has been overshadowed by the challenging circumstances, a campaign titled We Are Your Family, funded by Khaled al-Suwai'i, took to the streets of Kuwait to distribute money to children. The compassionate gesture lasted for several days across various areas in Kuwait to lift the spirits of children and to maintain the positive ambience of Eid al-Fitr in Kuwait. Reporter Ghanwa Jabouri brings us the whole story in this report.
Keeping the children happy during the coronavirus pandemic is important, as it is the children who lack the understanding of the challenging and difficult situation the local scene is witnessing, where festivals, gatherings and all cultural activities have been banned. To cheer the children up and lift their spirits during the festive season of Eid al-Fitr, a number of volunteers took the compassionate initiative of distributing money to children during the grace period, which allows society to take outside walks.
We are now in Salmiya, next to Salam Mall. We're here to distribute money for the children, just to raise their Eid spirit. We want to make them feel that we are still with them. We want to make them feel that we are their family. And we were also yesterday in Rumaithia and the day before in Blajat Street.
The campaign titled We Are Your Family is an initiative by Khaled al-Suwai'i and sponsored by Al-Oud and Al-Marshood organizations and many others.
Actually, it's a campaign called We Are Your Family. In Arabic, أنتوا أهلنا وإحنا أهلكم. The person after this campaign is Khaled al-Suwai'i. He is the owner of the campaign, and of course we have Al Arabiya Oud company, so who supported us, and we also have Al Marshood company, and we have many others, and we want to thank them all for their support in this campaign.
أنا كرم. Thank you, Baba Sabah. I love Kuwait.
We Are Your Family campaign indeed brought much joy to the many children who were all smiles and bursting with joy by the compassionate and uplifting initiative.
A little treat for the children to keep them happy during Eid al-Fitr, an initiative by a number of volunteers from Kuwait. I'm Ghanwa Jabouri reporting to you for Kuwait in 30 minutes.
A field emergency unit has been opened at Al Tadaman Sport Club to screen suspected COVID-19 cases. The field emergency unit was built in 3 days to support Al Farwaniya Hospital. Hadi Al Fahad will bring us the whole story in this report.
The cases suspected with the new coronavirus COVID-19 are being screened and examined in the Tadaman Club Field Emergency Unit, as it is considered to be a precautionary step.
It is a part of Farwaniya Hospital medical COVID wards. In actual fact, the critical cases, once they are passing the critical stage, they are referred to us here. We have a capacity of 200 beds, and we are capable of treating and continuing treating COVID patients till they are fit to discharge. Many of our patients are off oxygen at the moment, and many of them have already been discharged. The idea behind it is to ventilate Farwania Hospital. The idea of this field hospital is to ventilate Farwania Hospital since it is the most hospital in Kuwait that receive COVID patients.
This field emergency unit was built in 3 days to support Al Farwania Hospital.
We have also a plan in case there is a block in Farwania Hospital that we act as an emergency department. We already have capability to resuscitate patient with mechanical ventilation, and there is an ambulance around the clock to transfer very sick and critical patient.
The Ministry of Health follows a clearly defined action plan in all health facilities to contain this virus in various ways and means.
And coming up next, the Ministry of Electricity and Water's infringement team, supported by Kuwait Municipality and the Environmental and Agricultural Wealth Police, continued its campaign to remove infringements on state property in Al Wafra. Hadil Fahad has more details in this report.
State government institutions continue their campaigns to remove infringements on state property in the farms of Al Wafra in coordination with the competent authorities, where the General Authority for Agriculture Wealth, the Ministry of Interior represented by the Environmental Police, the Municipality and the Ministry of Electricity Water, where the team of infringements removed a number of infringements on state property by emphasizing all infringements on state property and will be removed by bulldozers.
We are now remove trees which affect an electricity wire post in Junior community in Kuwait government.
We have some problems. The trees is touching the overhead line, and that's big problem, and that's making the electricity outage. And we thank the other ministries working with us, Kuwait Municipality and the police and the other ministries.
This tour is part of the monitoring and follow-up team's tours with our executive agencies to provide a healthy environment with the current circumstances in the country. This cooperation will continue until abuses and infringements on state property are removed, as warnings have been released and violations removed.
Professionals with different specialities as well as volunteers from different civil societies contribute in the fight against the COVID-19 pandemic. The private sector is also contributing in this battle against the COVID-19 pandemic, such as Al Amal Factory. Here is more with Saleh Labedi.
The Al Amal Factory is a Kuwaiti company that relies on Kuwaiti manpower to produce top-quality facial masks that are superior to other facial masks available in the market. The masks are made up of 4 layers to ensure maximal protection for the user. The raw materials used for the masks are all imported from Germany that are made up of thick layers to protect the masks from tearing and getting destroyed, but at the same time it is soft on the face and it's comfortable to use. These masks are supposed to last the user all day without losing its protection abilities. The innovative idea of this production line was 100% Kuwaiti, and the team worked hard to ensure that they did not compromise on the quality of their product. The factory is capable to produce 4 to 5 million masks daily, which means that in the near future there won't be a shortage of facial masks to the general public. Furthermore, the prices of the locally produced facial masks will be reasonable for everyone to get, and the factory's mission is to ensure that everyone will be able to afford their need of these masks. As the owner dedicated his production line to His Highness the Emir, Sheikh Sabah Al-Ahmed Al-Jaber Al-Sabah, and to the general public of the state of Kuwait. Today we are here at the Amal factory where they manufacture facial masks right here in Kuwait. This is Sahir Ubaidi reporting for Kuwait in 30 minutes.
The Kuwait Fire Service Directorate, or KFSD, has established a special quarantine area for its members, providing the site with all precautionary measures. The site was established in anticipation of any COVID-19 cases that might arise among KFSD members. The quarantine established in cooperation with the Ministry of Health included fully equipped medical clinic. Our reporter Hadil Fahad brings us the whole story in this report.
The Kuwait Fire Service Directorate has opened a private quarantine for its members. The quarantine provided in cooperation with the Ministry of Health, and it includes a medical clinic to examine the firefighters and all the necessary protective supplies to cope the crisis.
And the clinic investigations are done on a daily basis for the safety and health of the firefighters and to ensure the continuity of work, particularly firefighter sectors.
The Kuwait Fire Service Directorate has taken all precautionary measures in anticipation of the bad health conditions that may happen in the coming period among employees of the Kuwait Fire Service Directorate due to the spread of the new coronavirus COVID-19.
So as of now, if we inspect any swipe from the firefighters during his duty, he will be transferred to a checked area and take all the necessary inspections, and he could stay there until he's cured from this virus. Along with that, all these endeavors are made to reduce the burden and support the Ministry of Health efforts with the cooperation of the Kuwait Fire Service Directorate.
Everyone's efforts are afoot to try to prevent the new coronavirus COVID-19 outbreak. The establishing of the firefighters quarantine comes in a manner that guarantees the continuation of work in all Kuwait fire services and providing full support to the rest of the state agencies. In these exceptional circumstances the world is going through.
Al-Rawda and Hawali Cooperative Societies made great efforts to fulfill the needs of the residents of the completely isolated Hawali, especially after the government's decision to lock down some residential areas. Residents of Hawali area were allowed to enter the supermarket and its branches, providing they make online reservation via the website dedicated to the Ministry of Trade and Industry. More details in the following report.
Cooperative societies have made efforts to provide all the needs of the residents of the isolated areas with food and other necessary supplies. This comes in light of the repercussions of the outbreak of COVID-19 with measures of total isolation in some areas of the state. Rawda and Hawali Cooperative Societies have established a working mechanism through the association's employees and volunteers to provide the basic requirements amid organized procedures to facilitate the process of entry and exit of consumers who made a pre-reservation to and from the associations and its branches. The chairman of the board of directors of the Rawda and Hawali Societies, Tariq Al-Sharrah, confirmed that Rawda Pharmacy services all the areas around it and operates 24 hours a day, in addition to providing aid to poor families with the participation of charitable societies and the delivery service to the quarantine buildings. Residents of the Hawali area will enter the association and its branches through advanced online reservation via the website dedicated to the Ministry of Commerce and Industry 24 hours a day.
And in our last report for tonight, a cargo aircraft arrived at Kuwait International Airport from the Republic of China with medical equipment and devices, as well as many medical supplies on board. The cargo is part of the efforts to consolidate and support the health stock in the country in the light of the government's efforts to confront and combat the repercussions of COVID-19. More details in the following report.
The cargo air bridge plans continue to arrive in Kuwait to support the state's strategic stock of medical equipment and devices amid the consequences of COVID-19.
This aircraft is a part of the air bridge that we done almost at the end of February from China, and it's going to continue. This airplane got on board a cargo of manufacturing masks and sanitizers, and it's a part of the air bridge that we done.
Tons of medical equipment and supplies, including mask-producing machines and other supplies.
There is orders of gloves we are getting. Hopefully tomorrow and the day after tomorrow we have flights, and continually. And this is the way it have been done for the past, as I said, the past 3 months, and it's continue. Right now we don't have any problem with air cargo from all over the world to Kuwait, inbound and outbound.
The country receives many air cargo flights to meet all the needs of the parties concerned with COVID-19.
Well, this brings us to the conclusion of tonight's episode of Kuwait in 30 Minutes. We hope to see you again same time next week. Our highly dedicated team of correspondents is constantly out in the field searching for reports that matter most to you. Thank you for joining us tonight, and see you next week with more exclusive reports. Have a good night.